Retro Racing reports from Saugus Speedway in Saugus, California. August 15th, 1981. So we're about mid-season here at Saugus Speedway, the super track. And we have a very nice program. It's created by Lyn Pherigo. Quite a good guy at doing that sort of thing. Several pictures in here, which are wonderful, and a couple of stories. Be sure to like and subscribe, and put your comments in the comment section. Here we go. Super Track Scene by Lyn Pherigo. Kalzinski adds to points lead with win number 9 at Saugus. Current point leader Roman Kalzinski of Van Nuys drove the PFC Welding Pontiac to victory in the 40-lap Sportsman main event last Saturday night at Saugus Speedway. It was the 5th straight feature win and 9th of the season for the current Saugus Street Stock champion, now campaigning in the Sportsman division. Ray Hooper Jr. of Valencia scored his 5th seasonal triumph in the 25-lap Stalker Oval main, and Brian Hayden of Canyon Country picked up his first figure 8 feature win in other Saugus action. Pole sitter Brad Miller of Newhall led the initial 9 laps of the Sportsman event before Bill Sedgwick of Van Nuys, currently second in points, went to the front on lap 10. At that point, Kalzinski had moved to third from his 13th starting position. Terry Singleton out of Simi was running fourth, but Jim Kent of Saugus was fifth. Well, Kalzinski got by Miller for second on lap 11 and began a fierce duel with Sedgwick for the top spot, actually getting inside and pulling slightly ahead in turns 3 and 4 on the 17th lap, but Sedgwick regained the lead down the front straight. Sedgwick, having successfully fought off all the challengers from Kalzinski, had a rear axle brake as he came out of turn 4 in the 21st lap, and that spun him out of the lead and out of the race. It was a cakewalk the rest of the way for Kalzinski. Kent took second, Miller was third, Mike Hindman of Saugus was fourth, and Dave Phipps out of Reseda was fifth. Hooper started his victory run from the 11th starting position in the 24-car Stalker field, and by lap 10 was running second behind Hayden. 10 circuits later, Hooper moved to the outside and went to the front for victory. Hayden was second, followed by Dan Pacheco out of Sepulveda, Ken Bossi of Sylmar, Tim Kerbra of Sylmar, and John Redman out of Saugus. 11 drivers finished on the lead lap. So that's the recap. Every program generally has that sort of thing. There's also another feature in here, the electrofilm page from the past. Turns out electrofilm is a waterbed heating pad. Okay. But they got this great picture in here. It says the year is 1972. Do you notice the unpaved and weed-filled infield? The figure 8 course that looks like a bike trail? And the roof of the old grandstand near the press box. Lots of changes at the Super Track since then. But speaking of changes, how about the driver of this number 30S Chevy? This was to be his only year at Saugus, and he'd be the first to tell you he wasn't overly successful, but fast automobiles and daring exhibitions have since been his superhighway to success. He was one of the founders of Stunts Unlimited, now in its 10th year. Then, as a second unit director, he got his big chance, and few directors have had more successful debuts than Smokey and the Bandit. This was followed by Hooper, Smokey 2, and now the latest Cannonball Run. If you haven't guessed it already, I'm of course talking about Hal Needham, stuntman turned director, used to be a race car driver at Saugus Speedway. Neat story there by Lyn Pherigo. Be sure to like and subscribe. Put your comments below.